video?
Yeah, they should be. Jessica, you ready?
Yes.
Good evening and welcome. So glad to see such a crowd. Thank you, bus drivers, for being here, parents, staff, guests. We appreciate you, students. We're so happy to see some students tonight. So we want to welcome everyone to our regular September meeting. And of course, we all know this is September the 16th, and we're so happy for this beautiful fall weather. We'll begin tonight with an invocation, followed by the pledge, and then we'll welcome some students for our mission statement. Please stand with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for your word that reminds us that the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart be acceptable in thy sight, because you are our strength and our Redeemer. Thank you, Father, for this opportunity tonight to gather on behalf of the children of Colleton County. Father, we're ever mindful to keep the Edwards and Johnson family in our prayers, and we lift them up, Father, as they grieve. We thank you, Father, that the closure will happen soon. Father, we thank you for the great accomplishments that are happening at our schools, and we look forward to the student recognition tonight. Father, we welcome everyone that's able to tune in or be with us tonight. And as the board, we are humble to be representing the students of Colleton County and the staff. And now, Father, we ask that you guide and direct our thoughts and help us to do the things that will bring you glory and help us to guide our school district to excellence. It is in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Tonight, we want to welcome the students that are here to help us with our mission statement, because they remind us that it's all about the kids and the time is now. So we're honored to have the Northside Safety Patrol, y'all can come up, as well as the Colleton County Middle Robotics Club and their sponsor. So please come up and let us hear loud and proud the mission statement for the Colleton County School District. Welcome. Thank you, students and sponsors.
Colleton County School District will prepare every student to graduate with a 21st century education to be globally competitive for the chosen college and for career path.
Thank you. We're glad for you to be our greeters, and if you want to tell us a little bit about what you do to serve in the school and your community.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. My name is Freddy Rodriguez Herbacio. I come from CCMS School. Today I'm going to talk about robot programming. Robot programming is the process of creating instructions that allow a robot to perform specific tasks automatically. It involves using programming languages such as Python, C++, or specialized robotic software to control robots' sensors, actuators, and decision-making abilities. Thank you. Have a rest of your evening. Thank you.
For this season's robotics season, we will have the theme on Earth. When you think of on Earth, you think about digging, you think about archaeology, you think about finding things, learning things that are new, that have been lost to time. Now, archaeology deals with things that are lost to time, human history and prehistory. Now, in this theme, we will be uncovering archaeology, which is a career that not a lot of people know about and think about all the time. And we will also be learning about it in a way that enlightens us all to learn new things, which help us with skills that we will carry not only through this season, but throughout our life.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Lois Agbley and I'm in the middle school's first Lego League. I'm also in grade 7. I'm here today to talk to everyone about core values. First of all, what are core values? Core values are beliefs that guide people's decisions. Core values are also used in our everyday lives. Some examples are teamwork. We are stronger when we work together. Inclusion. We respect each other and embrace our differences. Innovation. We use creativity and persistence to solve problems. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tajoy Murray, and I am in 8th grade. I'm doing both middle school first Lego League and both high school first Peg Challenge. And I am here to talk about the next 3 core values. They are discovery, we explore new skills and ideas; fun, we enjoy and celebrate what we do; and impact, we apply what we learn to improve our world. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mira Dewingen, and I'm here to talk about robot game and design. So as Josh said, our season this year is Unearthed, which is based on archaeology. Now that doesn't just apply to the real world, it also applies to FL level. So we have robots. We're going to try to make robots that are optimized to go and carefully retrieve these historical artifacts that are in our Earth, and sending them all over the world for research purposes. Now, there's a long thought process from looking at our game board to each mission, and to make our robots' ideas, to building and then making attachments to extract our artifacts. Now, there are attachments which help us push, pull, lift, and drop our artifacts to their designated location in our robot game. So there are certain regulations for our robot game. So our robot can only be 12 inches tall. It can only have 4 motors, which are the things that make our attachment moves and our wheels moves, and they can only use certain types of sensors, which are the force sensor, the color sensor, and the ultrasound sensor, to help make our programming easier if you know how to properly use them. I hope you all have a good evening, and thank you.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Williams, we're so excited about your student. I see one more. They're doing a great job telling us about the robotics team.
Hello everyone, I'm Jasmine, and to close things out, I want to talk about what this experience means for us moving forward. Being part of this season has opened up a whole new world for us, from engineering and coding to research and even archaeology. We didn't just build a robot, we built curiosity. Through our research, we're exploring how technology can help us uncover the past, and this got us thinking. What else can we discover when we combine innovation with imagination? What I'm personally hoping to learn is how to ask better questions, how to work through challenges as a team, and how to keep pushing boundaries even when things get tough. First Lego League isn't just about solving problems, it's about learning how to think like explorers, scientists, and creators. And that's something we'll carry with us long after this season ends. Thank you.
Thank you. We look forward to hearing about your success and the wonderful different things you're learning across the curriculum. We can tell you've got different curriculum in that robotics class, Mr. Ed. Thank you. One of our lifelong learners. Y'all are learning a lot, students, from Mr. Ed. Take it away, Northside.
All right, good evening. Thank you for having us tonight. I have 6 of the most dedicated Safety Patrol members here with us on tonight. To be a Safety Patrol member, students had to show interest, fill out an application in their own words as to why they wanted to be a Safety Patrol member. They had to have good grades. We cross-checked with behavior. And so these students are here to represent Northside Elementary tonight. I have Marilyn Rossetti, Ada Harmon, Tyler Evans, Ren Withers, Michelle Horback, and Kamora Grant. And we have our president, Ren Withers, who is going to share some brief words with you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Rin Withers, and I am the president of Northside Elementary School's Safety Patrol team. I am honored that you have invited us to be with you tonight. I am happy to be part of the Safety Patrol team because it is a new leadership experience and big responsibility for me. Each morning and afternoon, we get our belts and we wear them with pride to help our peers into the building and help dismiss them at the car rider loop and bus rider line. We have to work hard to make sure that we are good role models. That includes not getting any refills, keeping good grades, and talking to students and adults with respect. We must also be on time for our morning and afternoon shifts. I am looking forward to all the wonderful things we have planned for this school year. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sponsors, for bringing them, Ms. Berry. Thank you, principals, for being here, and parents, because this gives them an opportunity to speak in public and tell us what they're doing to serve. And we know speaking in public is not an easy thing. So students, you all did a wonderful job. Thank you. Y'all want to shake our hands? We'll be happy to say thank you.
You did a terrific job.
Wonderful job telling us.
I thank you, sir. You did great.
Y'all keep Mr. Ed busy.
Thank you, sir. Did a good job.
Y'all keep Mr. Ed working hard.
I thank you. Good job. We appreciate
Very
you
good
coming.
job.
Thank you for being
Don't you
here.
sing too?
Appreciate it.
She's our
Thank
singer.
you.
She's our singer.
Thank you. Nice job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Northside.
Like your
we
cooker.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
keeping
you.
everyone safe. Thank you, sir.
Thank
appreciate
you for
it.
being a safety
Thank you.
patrol. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Watch Miss Ed.
Thank you.
Keeping it real. Those kids keep you young.
We appreciate
Those
you,
kids
Mr.
keep you
Williams.
young,
Thank
don't
you.
they?
Miss Berry, it's nice to see you in your new role. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful students. Thanks again for being our greeters and telling us about the Safety Patrol and the robotics. Parents, thanks for bringing them out. Board members, at this time, we like to remember our civility pledge that we honor to abide by, as our South Carolina School Board Association reminds us. So if we can recite together our civility pledge. I pledge to build a stronger and more effective school board by advocating for civil engagement, respecting others and their viewpoints, and finding solutions for the betterment of my school district. Thank you. Board members, before you and emailed to you and posted for the public, we have our agenda. Please take a look and see if there's anything we need to add, or if not, I would like to entertain a motion that we approve the agenda.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the agenda.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion about the agenda for tonight? Hearing none. All those in favor, please show your right hand. Motion carries. Please let the minutes reflect that we have 6 board members present. We also have our attorney, Ms. Jasmine Drain, joining us by phone, and we appreciate everyone here tonight so that we can conduct the business of the board. Moving along, board members, we have 2 sets of minutes that were sent for our approval. So if you've had a chance to review, I'll entertain a motion that we accept the minutes that document our meeting for August 19th and September 9th.
Madam Chair, I move we accept the minutes of the August 19th board meeting and the September 9th Committee of the Whole meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any corrections or additions to those minutes? Hearing none, thank you, Ms. Hyman. I'll entertain, we have the motion and a second, and I'll call for the vote. Show your right hand, please, if you're in favor of accepting those minutes. Unanimous. Thank you, board members. Board members, we also have for our calendars, please notice that we are hosting the regional advocacy meeting. So on September 24th, you will notice that that is a Wednesday afternoon, and Ms. Hyman has us registered to attend from 5 to 7. There was an email you can look at for the agenda. There will be a listening lab, and they'll be gathering information. Also, mark your calendar for Monday, September the 29th, as well as the Colleton County delegation meeting. Those are all of our elected officials that serve in Columbia. They will be in our county at a 6 o'clock meeting on September the 29th, and our superintendent will be presenting some wonderful news about the progress of our district, and we're so happy that we were recognized statewide for second in improvement with our ELA scores, as we reported last week in our meeting. So anyone that wants to be there, that's at the county library at 6 p.m. Also, board members, we need to action tonight because our 2025 Legislative Advocacy Conference, we need to nominate someone to represent our board and an alternate. We thank those that attended last year, Ms. Wicken and Trustee Irwin. But tonight I'd entertain a motion for someone that has December 6th and 7th available and could travel to Charleston to represent our district, as well as an alternate, because there will be some voting that happens at that meeting.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to nominate Mr. Roman Cunningham as the delegate for the South Carolina School Board Association Legislative Advocacy Conference as our delegate, and also Mr. Glenn Nixon as our alternate.
Second. Thank you. We have a nomination for Mr. Roman, Trustee Cunningham to represent us, and also for Trustee Nixon to be an alternate. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Thank you both for being willing to open your calendars for that. Hearing no other discussion, all those in favor, please show your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you. Bring back good information. Also, board members, notice the policy committee for September is set for Monday, September 22nd at 5 p.m. Of course, that's open to the public, and we will begin recording. Is that correct? We'll begin recording policy committee on the September meeting?
We've always recorded the policy committee.
Very good. We've done it before it was even required, but yes, we will definitely be recording, or you can, it'll be held right here in the boardroom. Thank you, board members and policy committee. Moving right along, section 3, we look forward, Superintendent Williams, of hearing about our student staff recognition tonight, because every member of Team Colleton works for kids and makes important contributions towards becoming a world-class school system. And I know at least one of the students tonight, I taught their mother and their grandmother, and they're so excited to get that letter from Northside that they're going to be recognized tonight. So what a privilege.
I want to say good evening to everyone. Thank you, Chair Strobel, and I want to say good evening to all of our school board members. I want to say good evening to our administration, our staff members, parents, visitors, anyone that's here with us tonight. It gives me great pleasure. I think this is my favorite part of the meeting, where we recognize our students and our staff for their contributions to our school district. So tonight I am very excited to recognize several students from several of our schools, and I have a written description of that was written by their principal about how they go above and beyond and are doing great things in our schools. So I'm going to start with our students, and when I call your name, if you would please come forward. I'm going to start with Blackstreet Early Childhood Center. We ask that Jackson Sheehan, kindergarten student, come forward, please, if you're here. And let's give Jackson a round of applause as he comes forward. Is this Jackson's dad? Hello, Jackson. Well, Jackson, I'm going to read what was written about you by your principal, Principal Pearson.
He's excited.
There you go. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Jackson. Jackson is already scoring in the green for reading on iReady. He is full of joy each day, and his attendance is excellent. We appreciate the wonderful helper that he is and love having him here at Blackstreet Early Childhood Center. So let's give Jackson another round of applause. Jackson's dad, Jackson's father. Okay, let's give Jackson's father a round of applause for being here tonight as well. All right, if you all can stay right there, we have a few more students to call, and we want to get everyone's picture together, okay? So the next student is from Bells Elementary School, and I think I did see Principal Ferguson here to recognize her student as well. This is what she wrote about Riley McMillan. If you're here, come on down. Riley McMillan. Let's give Riley a round of applause. This is Riley's mom, who's also a teacher in our district as well. But Riley is a 5K student at Bells Elementary School. She is an absolute joy to have in our school. She is super smart and compassionate. She is a class helper and loves to help others. She does her best each day to learn as much as she can and share with others. She is respectful to our staff and friendly with her peers. I can't wait to see how she will blossom this year. And that's from your principal, Principal Ferguson. All right. The next student that we will recognize tonight is from Cottageville Elementary School, Miss Autumn Evans, 5th grade student at Cottageville. Okay, Autumn's not with us tonight. All right, we're going to move to Forest Hills Elementary School. Riley Jacobs. Riley Jacobs, 5th grade student, and he is here. I don't think I see Principal Guarino, but Principal Guarino submitted this for you, Riley. And let me ask, are Riley's parents here? If you are, please raise your hand. Please stand so we can recognize you, please. District as well. So Riley Jacobs is an outstanding example of leadership and respect at Forest Hills Elementary School. He consistently demonstrates respect by actively listening when others are speaking and by using kind, thoughtful language in every interaction. His positive and considerate attitude helps create a welcoming and supportive learning environment for his classmates. Beyond the classroom, Riley shines as our student body president, where he does an amazing job supporting, helping, and advocating for our Cougar Cubs. His dedication, kindness, and leadership truly make him a role model for all students. Congratulations, Riley. Next, we have from Northside Elementary School, Amara Bennett. Amara Bennett, and she's here. Come on down. Let's give her a round of applause. she is here, and she wrote this about you, Amara. Amara constantly demonstrates kindness and initiative in the classroom. She is always the first to step in and ask if someone needs help, showing both compassion and leadership among her peers. When faced with challenges, she advocates for herself by asking questions when she does not understand, but not before making a genuine effort to solve the problem on her own. This determination, paired with her willingness to seek support when necessary, reflects her strong work ethic and growth mindset. Amara approaches every task with her best effort and a positive attitude. I feel truly fortunate to have such a thoughtful, hardworking, and sweet student in my class this year. Let's give Amara another round of applause. Okay, and if you would raise your hand, Amara's parents. Yes, let's give them a round of applause. All right, next from Colleton County High School, we have Bridget Wangambi. I hope that's right. Was that right? She's here. Let's give her a round of applause. Is here with us too. If you would raise your hand, Principal Bodison. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to read about Miss Bridget. She's a 12th grade student at Colleton County High School. Bridget is a joy to teach. She is respectful, kind, and thoughtful. In addition to her lovely personality, Bridget has a phenomenal work ethic. She currently has A's in all of her classes and takes her academics very seriously. She is a well-rounded young lady who deserves this recognition. And this was submitted by your principal. So let's give Bridget another round of applause. And if Bridget's parents are here, if you would please stand to be recognized. All right. And last but not least, from TCTC, we want to recognize Jalen Mitchell. All right, Jalen. So we're going to read what was submitted about you by Director Cubic. Is Mr. Cubic here? He's here, yes. Let's give Mr. Cubic a round of applause. All right, so Jalen has done a complete 180-degree turnaround with her attitude towards the class from last year. She has demonstrated a desire to learn and perform at the top of her class. She has also demonstrated her leadership skills in mentoring a 6th grade student that job shadowed in the nail tech classroom. Let's give Jalen another round of applause. And we ask that Jalen's parents please stand to be recognized. So I want to say to all of our students, thank you for a job well done. Keep up the good work. You are models for everyone, all of your classmates, all of your peers. So congratulations for being recognized tonight in our Above and Beyond. And we know that we're going to hear great things about you in the future. So we're going to get a picture with you, with everyone together, and then we're going to ask that you go up and shake our board members' hands.
I said y'all had.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, good job. Can I give you a high five? All right, thank you. Good job. Congratulations.
That's okay.
How are you? How are you? Thanks, parents. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Nice job. How do y'all? Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Pretty smile on.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm talking about. I have to get my nail.
I may want to look back.
All right, we want to thank all of our students and their parents and their principals for being here tonight. And now we are going to go into our staff recognition. And I want to say this before we start. You know, every month there is a special recognition for staff members. But we do not want to wait until April to recognize some very, very important people. We don't want to wait until April because that's when we recognize our bus drivers. But this evening, I'm so excited to recognize our transportation department because they play a vital role in the district's success. If we didn't have bus drivers here, we wouldn't have some of our students at school. We could not do what we do if it were not for them. So I found this poem, and I would like for all of our bus drivers, if you would, the whole department, Mr. Bradley being the leader of the pack, if you would stand, and let's give Mr. Bradley a round of applause for leading this department. I would like for all of our transportation department to stand. So I found this poem that I would like to read. It's very short, and it just simply says, a school bus driver, kind and bright, guides the children morning and night. A beacon of safety on the road, ensuring young passengers reach their abode. With a cheerful smile and a friendly wave, they greet the kids they strive to save. In all kinds of weather, come rain or shine, they navigate the route with care divine. So let's salute their dedication for keeping our children's transportation safe and sound with skill and heart. The school bus drivers, our heroes from the very start. So bus drivers, we appreciate you. I'm going to call everyone's name at this time. And I'm going to call the names quickly because some may be here and some may not be. So when I call your names, come to the front. Dr. Wright will present the certificate to Mr. Bradley when I finish calling everybody up. How about that? Okay. All right. Wilhelmina Green, Kathy Linder, Susan Fryer, St. Clair Brown, Hal Garrett, Michelle Taylor, Horatio Evans, Teresa Jones, Janie Singleton, Thomas Fennell Jr., Joseph Warren, Ninevera Williams, James Paul, Michael Justice, Dwayne Bundy, Regina Gatson, Sandy Johnson, Nadine Copeland, Jacqueline Jackson, Shakithia Ferguson, Brandon Williams, Janetta Holmes, Kathleen Bellafuel, Teresa Stevens, Karen Jenkins, Holland Johnson, Deborah Tyus, Kathy Pinkney, Jerry Cockrum, Beverly Harrison, LaShonda Brown, Diana McNeil, David Bryan, Brenda Murdaugh, Rebecca Kelly, Ann Manigo White, Deborah Ann Williams, Aisha Stevens, Luella Linder, Alfonso Miller, Jermaine Smalls, Priscilla Black, Portia Brown, Rosalind Buckner, Faith Bundy, Mary Bundy, Christina Hale, Brenda Harvey, Della Johnson, LaFonta Matthews, Vernisha Michael Allen, Mary Miller, Burley Richards, James Sally, Henrietta Stevens, Beulah Sweat, Carlos Washington, Mary Washington, Anaja Williams, China Young, Gary Bradley, Montine Garland Deal, Laditra Kynard, Elizabeth Lambright, and last but not least, Denise Mole. Let's give all of our transportation a round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I got some.
I'll read and then pass to you to introduce or bring her up, if that's okay. Or do you want me to bring her up?
Thank you, Superintendent Williams.
Okay, you sure?
It gives me great honor to be able to come before the world-class transportation department of the Carlton County School District. This group of ladies and gentlemen, they are the first group of people and the last group of people that see our kids on a daily basis. They are the touchstone of what we do in our school district every single day. Without what they do, our kids won't be successful, because many of our children who don't have an opportunity to get back and forth home, these ladies and gentlemen get up 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're on the job as early as 4:30, 5 o'clock, waiting at the door to get those buses on the road for our kids. I can't underscore the value of what this team brings to Carlton County School District. I can go on and on and on about this team, because they are one of the most valuable assets as assistant superintendent who I work for, the Superintendent Williams and the school board, to make sure that they are worthy, they are paid well, they are treated well, and they are honored well as respected members of Team Carlton County School District. We appreciate you, we value you, and there's not enough words that Superintendent Williams and I or the board can say to tell you thank you enough for being incredible leaders for our children at the beginning of the day and incredible leaders for our children at the end of the day. You are worthy. Thank you.
Amen.
So you look good. You look great.
Yes. Yeah, y'all tighten up. Yes. Thank y'all for being with us tonight. We know you have a long day that starts early.
Feels like I'm so grounded. My bad. 25.
All right, are we ready to listen? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. I was one of you. I was one of you. Appreciate you. Thank you. I was one of you. Yes. Thank you. I drove my senior year. Thank you. Thank you. I know it's hard. I drove my
Hang on, hang in there, Denise. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. I remember you. I remember you. Thank you.
All they got to do is get excluded right here. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all you do.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Y'all don't shake that man's hand. He got too fired. The last thing.
Thank you. Thank you for being
Hey, bro. How you doing? I don't know.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you all you do.
Thank y'all for coming tonight. Let us celebrate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you all.
Blessed and students. Blessed. Thank you. Good team, Mr. Bradley. Good team. Yep, good team.
Good leader. Good leader. Thank you.
That was really good. Thanks again, bus drivers, and we know that you keep our kids safe on the road. We appreciate that. Superintendent Williams, anything else tonight for recognition?
That ends our recognition for tonight, Chair
Thank
Strobel.
you. That was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Board members, as we move on down our agenda, we're at topic 4, and we have public comment. We have one. Is there any others, Ms. Simon? Okay. And I've asked Secretary Witkins to read and get this part of the meeting started for us.
Certainly, the board welcomes the opportunity for you to share information concerning the school district. There's nothing in the law or anyone here that prevents you from saying anything you wish to say. Please refrain from commenting on any pending student or employee discipline or grievance matter. What you say will become public information, which is subject to the Freedom of Information Act laws. If you choose to call specific employee names, we suggest that you do not. It is the board chairman's duty to inform you that you could be subject to defamation laws according to your statements. Please present comments without using offensive language or making comments in a disrespectful manner. The school district policy allows you for 3 minutes. Ms. Hyman, would you keep the time? Okay, thank you. And board members and the superintendent are not required to respond to your comments. However, we do have your contact information to be able to follow up as necessary.
Thank you, Ms. Wicken. If I can just echo, please come forward and share anything you would like to share that things are going well. And if it's anything you're unhappy with, we always invite you to handle that according to board policy in a written grievance, and we can address that in private if we need to. But you're welcome to come forward to the mic.
Ms. Frisbee?
Thank you for allowing me to address this board. I have 2 concerns that I would like to bring to your attention. The first involves a teacher who used vulgar statements and profanity in my child's classroom on the first day of school. As uncomfortable as it has made my 15-year-old child, I am also uncomfortable repeating what was said.
Let me make sure your mic is keyed. Thank you, Dr. Wright.
Testing.
Yeah. Again? Okay. As uncomfortable as the events made my 15-year-old child, I am also uncomfortable repeating what was said. The details are in a packet already provided to you. The second concern is the level of difficulty in finding someone within the school district to acknowledge the first concern. As a result of the teacher's conduct, my child and I met with the principal, and during this meeting, the principal made condescending remarks, suggested I was overprotective, and Mamie, my child, took what was said out of context. There is no situation where that language is appropriate. I was left with the impression the teacher was not going to be held accountable, and the burden of the situation was left on my child and me. As a result of the dismissive attitude by the principal, I contacted the district office and reported the incident. After a week of no response and several attempts to follow up, I submitted a public participation form letting the board members know I intended to address them at the August 19th meeting. Only then did I hear from the superintendent. An investigation was conducted and the teacher admitted to making the statements. Due to the lack of concern by the principal and slow response by the district office, I attempted to address the board at the last board meeting. I was told multiple times that I would not be allowed to address you because it involved personnel. Since I was not allowed to express my concerns at the board meeting, I chose to reach out to one of the board members. Only then did I believe my concerns were being taken seriously. I am here today to inform you of not only the confirmed inappropriate and unprofessional behavior of a teacher, but also to provide you with a parent's firsthand experience of climbing the chain of command in an effort to ensure students are in a safe environment. I implore you to enforce policies you have in place. Policies like GBEB exist to protect students and hold staff accountable, but policies are meaningless if they are not enforced. Parents should not be stonewalled. Students should not be left in classrooms where teachers cross these lines. I am asking you to act.
Did I hear time? Thank you. And if you want to follow board policy, the board policy allows, if you would like to speak with us longer in public, in private, you can do that by following the board policy where you can file a written grievance and meet with the board in private. But we appreciate your 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving along on our agenda, we have a topic for old business. Board members, anything that we need to bring to the table for old business? Thank you. New business? Moving on, item number 7. We have some policies that were first reading at our last meeting and now are second reading. If you'll look at the policies that we were given, they are listed as policy GCB for professional staff contracts and compensations. We're looking at action for second reading for professional staff development. Some of these were things that we were asked by the state. Thank you that those of you attended the meeting and brought these policies back to us and our attorneys and administration. Also, the policy for staff assignment and transfer and student absences and excuses. So I'll entertain a motion that we accept second reading for those 4 policies.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we accept the second reading for policy GCB, policy GCI, policy GCK, and administrative rule GCKR, and policy JF as presented.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion about those policies before we take action to accept those policies into our policy manual? Hearing no discussion, I'll entertain a vote. So all those in favor of accepting those 4 policies, please raise your right hand. Those policies have been accepted. Thank you. Unanimous decision. Moving along, board members, we have our superintendent's report tonight. Ms. Williams was able to give us that in our email as well as last Tuesday. We know that effective leadership supports learning and optimal performance for all students. So Superintendent Williams, we are open if you need to give us more information. I know there's some things that you did email us today to make us aware of some more detailed information, so please share with us.
Most definitely. I want to say good afternoon again, Chair Strobel. Thank you for having me come again. And I want to say that last week I shared with you our SC Ready, our EOC, and our college and career ready data for the 24-25 school year, which was released by the State Department on September 1st. We had huge successes, of which I indicated at that time that our district was acknowledged in the State Superintendent Weaver's press release as having the second highest growth in ELA in the state of South Carolina. We had grade levels that increased upwards of 20 percentage points. We did phenomenally. We also had some challenges as well that we are working to improve upon, especially in the area of math. And I know that some of you have asked questions about, what are some of the strategies that we're utilizing in math, and I am going to ask the academics department at a later board meeting to come up and just kind of talk to you a little bit about our math strategies. However, there were some questions last week about the South Carolina College and Career Readiness Assessment. So I've asked Mrs. Bodison, along with Mr. Kubik, if they would come up at this time and just talk to you a little bit about that assessment. And then Mr. Kubik will come back later to talk about CTE initiatives. So I'm going to ask Ms. Bodison and Mr. Kubik to come up at this time.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Questions were asked in regards to the district and the statewide assessment. Well, as you all know, this South Carolina Career Readiness Assessment that is up there, that is one component of the college and career assessment that we're actually graded for. This is the WIN test. Can you all hear me? All right, this is the WIN test, and this is basically telling us how they're scored. The students actually have 5 different levels, and this is actually what Mr. Kubik was going to present today. And I know one of the questions came about level 2. We stated level 5 because Superintendent Williams said that we would like to see our kids get to level 5, but as you can see, that number is really low even for statewide. We normally try to get between levels 3 and 4. That's normally where they expect students to be achieving at. And I know one of the questions, I think Mr. Nixon, he looked at the level 2 and he noticed that we actually scored higher there than statewide did. Even though level 2, you see it's good there, but we actually want our kids to kind of move it up toward the levels 3 and 4. This is a test that the students basically take in their junior year, the WIN test. And when students don't perform well, if they don't get those 3s and 4s that we're actually looking for, they'll take the test again their senior year in the spring. Now, it has been brought to our attention that the students are actually able to take that test again in the fall as well as the spring. So those are some things that we're looking into so that we can perhaps get our students to achieve at higher levels. So perhaps getting them to see it more than once. If they don't get that magic number that we're looking for, preferably a 3, that they're able to see the test again their senior year and take it again. But moving forward, if we continue to remain in this rate, we realize that the students can also take it an additional time in the fall as well as in the spring their senior year. Did that answer that question that you all were looking for? Mr. Kubik wants to add something as well.
Technically, to be considered career ready, they need to have a minimum of a 3. But the test consists of 4 components, and if the student scores, let's say, a 4 on 3 and a 2 on 1, they automatically get knocked down to a level 2 for the whole overall average. So we're able to, when we do the retest, we're able to test just that one test, that one component, to bring their overall average up.
Were there any additional questions for this particular slide?
Thank you. We appreciate that in-depth understanding of that, because we know this is part of our report card, so we appreciate you explaining that to us.
Yes, ma'am. And again, as I shared, that's only basically one component of it. That's just the WIN assessment, because you know when it comes to that particular category for career readiness, there are also, you look at different things such as ASVAB as well. And then we have the completers. So there are additional things too.
We kind of wondered if we might could pair up with other districts, maybe to see some strategies, and just we're interested in finding out more about how this could be improved. And we asked Superintendent Williams and her staff maybe to talk to our State Department consultant and just have conversations about how high schools are achieving higher levels. Any other board members?
And again,
Thank you.
I think one of the strategies I think is allowing those kids to see it 3 times versus 2, because currently we're only doing it twice. We do it their first year in the junior year, and then we do it again in the spring. However, it can be done fall and the spring their senior year, so they actually get 3 times versus 2 times. So that's one strategy that we've heard of that we can probably try. Unfortunately, I don't think we're able to do it this time because Mr. Kubik and I were looking at some of their dates. Even though the test is going to be offered late October and early November, you would have needed the pre-coding back in August.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have to get started earlier. Well, thank you. And thank you, Superintendent Williams, for bringing those answers to us. We enjoyed seeing both of you tonight. Thank you.
And if I may, Madam Chair, this has nothing to do with SC Ready, but I wanted to congratulate you on the win Friday night. And I said I was going to make a point of saying how pleased I was to be sitting in front of the mother of the quarterback who constantly yelled, "That's my baby." So I wanted to let her, I told her I was going to give her a shout out and congratulate her on her son's performance Friday evening. Congratulations to you as well.
Thank you, sir. We needed that win.
Oh, yes.
Madam Chair, if you don't mind.
Yes.
I can echo on that also. I think overall, the whole game and the tailgate, everything was beautiful. So I wanted to echo on that also. So,
very much.
they all did an awesome job.
Yes, and we want to thank the community that was able to come out and support, and some of us that were there as former class members. We enjoyed being able to be there and want more to come out next year so we can have a very good homecoming again next year.
Along with Dr. Myers also.
Yes.
Good job.
Good job.
Get together to debrief so we can look at ways that we can continue to improve it each year.
Yes, and our SRO, and one day we'll get the traffic figured out, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We're not used to that in Cotton County. Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Kubik and Ms. Bodison? Thank you. Superintendent Williams, anything else that you want to highlight tonight before we move to action on capital project and field trips?
I just want to inform the board that I will be moving forward with Arts Now. We currently have Arts Now partnership with 3 of our elementary schools, and we are going to extend that to the other 2. So Hendersonville Elementary School and Bells Elementary School will now become Arts Now schools, and they will receive the professional development in order to integrate the arts into the curriculum as well. So we're very excited about that. This first year of this partnership will not cost the district anything, and then next year, if the district wants to continue, there will be a small fee, but the district can, decide what they want to do from there. But I just wanted to let you know that we will be starting that partnership very, very, very soon, and we're just looking forward to the results that come from students learning through the arts. Okay. The last topic that I wanted to bring to your attention today is our capital projects. You were provided an updated copy in a manila folder that's in front of you. I also sent this for your review on Thursday, September 11th. However, we made some updates to it, so we sent a revised copy to you today as well. And I just want to bring a few items to your attention as you consider approving these projects. So if you would look, the pages are numbered there for you. And what I'm going to do is just highlight a few things. And then if you have any questions, any technical questions, Mr. Simpson is here, Dr. Wright is here as well, and they can answer those questions for you more in depth. Okay? So if you look at page 1, there was a question about the Bells Elementary DOAU unit. There was a question as to what that was, and that is basically a control unit for the unit to turn off and on, and it is tied to the Harris system. It's a transition piece, and 3 different pieces are tied to it. From my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Simpson, this particular piece is no longer available. So they have to retrofit it, and that is the cost there that you see in the projected estimated fiscal impact column. Okay? Are there any additional questions concerning the Bells Elementary DOAU unit? And this is for HVAC. Okay? All right, if you turn over to page 3, and you see where it says district-wide retention pond, this amount that's there, the amount that's there under RFP, this was the original quote that was received by the district. However, another $52,000 for maintenance was added, as well as additional funds for any unforeseen circumstances. So it brought it from $250,000 to $350,000. That's another difference from the very first document you received on Thursday to tonight. If you turn over to page 5, you'll see where it says district-wide flooring. Just want to make sure that all board members understand that the middle school is a priority there with the district-wide flooring. There is a current allocation of $82,000, and that is going to the gym and the commons area, and I think there was a classroom as well at the middle school that needs immediate attention. Okay. Do you all have any questions about the district-wide flooring?
Superintendent Williams,
yes.
Just back up a little bit. I didn't get an opportunity to ask a question, but the district-wide retention pond, do we already have a company contracted out for that?
Madam Chair, members of the board, board member Stivers, just to respond to that question, we do not. Our anticipation is to do it, had the assessment done so we can look at numbers and what that would projectedly cost the district to get done and to be maintenance. And so from that projected number, we will construct an RFP to launch so that we can hopefully drive down the cost and to drive competition amongst potential project managers for this project.
Okay, I guess that was my concern, is that we've already gone up on our price another 50-something thousand, and we haven't even put it out for bid yet. We don't know what the bid may be.
Yes, sir. Just to be clear, that number that we're providing you is a projected estimated cost. We don't even know, but we have to put a number to give the board a projection based upon doing some research and having some quotes sent in already from some vendors. And so that quotes that we generated, we were able to give a projection on an estimated amount. Our hopes with an RFP will drive that number down, hopefully not up.
Okay, thank you.
If that makes sense.
I hope it will.
Yes, sir.
Also, if you look at page 5 as well, I've already talked about the district-wide flooring. Underneath that, you'll see the softball indoor batting cage, and you'll see the estimated cost there as well. This was added because this was not on your document that you received on Thursday. And I know there were several questions concerning the batting cage. There is a batting cage, indoor batting cage for, I think it's the boys baseball. Is that correct? Boys baseball, but there's not one for girls. So we want to mitigate any issues that could arise from this, and that is one of the reasons that we are proposing to get that design done to potentially have that indoor batting cage. Okay, and then there were questions asked about the athletic field maintenance. I was able to get some historical data from finance concerning how much this has cost the district in the past, and I have from the 21-22 school year, it was the same amount that you see on your sheet there, and then in the 22-23 school year, it was the same amount that you see on your sheet. And then in the 23-24 school year, it went up $15,000. In the 24-25 school year, it was the same amount that you see on your sheet. And then in this school year that we're currently in, you see the amount that we will spend for the athletic field maintenance.
Madam Chair, may I?
Sure.
Madam Superintendent, fill me in a little bit about the field maintenance. Tell me what all we do for field maintenance. I'm a little bit slow on that one.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. To answer your question, so our field maintenance package consists of an all-year-round program. Part of that program is sampling of the soil to make sure what we're applying on it is the correct product. We also put pre-emergent on it in the spring to help with weed control. We put post-emergent on it, which also helps in the fall. We do put fertilizer on it to green it up and provide that nitrogen. We do top dress the field, which was recently done. We do aerate the field as well, and then we have irrigation on as well. So those are just off the topic of just a general broad. We can provide more details of exactly what fertilizer we use, but that is just the general scope of from the beginning of the year to the end of the year of what we do on all of our athletic fields. And the fields that are covered are the stadium, the practice field, baseball and softball, and then the track field as well.
So that's all the fields?
Yes, that's all the fields.
Okay, thank you.
If I may, Madam Chair.
Sure.
Step back one step from me as far as the batting cage. Are we required by law to have a separate facility for softball than baseball? Or is it more of a convenience so that each gender will have their own indoor batting field?
It would be in our best interest as a school district to make sure we have a batting field for males and for females in order to prevent any activation of Title IX from federal government.
Yeah, and like I said, and I'm sorry. I do understand that. I get that, but I was just wondering if we have to have the separate facility, because I'm just thinking we could schedule, the boys on Mondays and Wednesdays, girls Tuesdays and Thursdays, and flip a coin for Fridays, because I don't know about athletics. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, sir. I would just simply repeat for the public, it would be in the district's best interest to have a male and a female sporting cage as to not activate any form of discrimination that may activate any Title IX discrimination against Carlton County School District.
I got you.
Since we're on that topic, are these fees the design fees, or these are the actual cost of the batting cage in the restroom?
That is just the design fee cost. So I did break those out. The first cost was for the design of the facility itself, and then that second cost was for the additional restrooms that was brought up during our capital programs meeting.
I have, man.
Yeah, sure.
If we had turf on the fields, would we have to spend this amount of money to keep them up every year?
No, we would not have to spend that money on the field that has synthetic turf on it. What we would have to spend would be a maintenance on it, which is required to keep your warranty up, just to be transparent on that, but it would not cost what we currently are spending if we had synthetic turf.
Board members, you can ask any questions, but I think she was going through presentation page 6. Is that correct?
Yes. Look at page 6. Basically, on page 6, you see the district-wide radios, the district-wide copier agreements, the district-wide IT maintenance of service. Look at page 7, you see the district-wide IT contracts. All of those are standard agreements that we have every year, and these are standard maintenance agreements, lease agreements, and we do not have the funds in the general fund, so that's why we have placed it here for this year in our capital project needs, because it is something that could be paid through capital projects. So page 6 and 7 is basically service agreements. If you look at the middle school bathroom project, this is not something that the team is recommending that we do, but we are recommending allocating those funds to the fire alarm project, and the amount is written there for you as well. On page 8, you will see all of the different funding sources to pay for these projects listed there. And if you look at page 9, you will see the total new funding. So that's the total amount of money that we would be requesting from our new capital projects funds, our new bond money that should be here between now and the end of September. And then the total of the reallocated money that you see in red on your sheets, the total of reallocated or previous bond funding is written there for you as well. And then you have the total bottom line. Now, We want you to remember that this amount represents an approximate total, plus or minus encumbrances and anticipated RFP amounts that are currently not available. So it could be more or it could be less. But we just wanted to give you a number because the board requested a number, and that is there on page 9 for you as well.
Board members, please ask questions. Also, we can consider entertaining a motion when we get through with questions that you might have for clarification. The motion can be for the entire project. The motion can be for a project and postpone things that we might still have questions about. Some might be time sensitive. We want to move forward. And also notice we do have other projects that, have been brought to our attention, but this is a highlight Ms. Williams has presented of Tier 1 items that they want to promote. First, there might be things like Performing Arts Center lights and things that we have noticed, need attention that can come later, but these are items that they have recognized as Tier 1. So any other questions, comments, concerns?
Madam Chair, if I could, first, I'm a little concerned with this capital project as presented because I don't quite understand all this reallocation. Obviously, this money was allocated for projects in the past that were deemed important, and now all of a sudden we are reallocating these monies for new projects. We were told a few weeks back that we were going to use reallocated money to put in a new air conditioning system in this building, and that was $300,000. I'd like to know how much money that we have that we can reallocate, because now we're talking about almost over $1 million worth of reallocation. So what projects are we losing for $1 million? And then we're going to approve a budget for something that has RFPs in it, and we don't even have a clue what that could cost this district. And we're considering things like, and this is not going to be a popular opinion, and I have had personal talks with the coach, but we're considering things like a batting cage. These children go to school together. They sit in the same classroom. The soccer players, boys and girls, play on the same field. Tennis players play on the same field. Cross country runs on the same course. We could make do. I agree with my fellow board member that maybe we should change some scheduling around until we can afford certain projects, but we're talking about spending all this money, and I don't see where we can afford it.
So you asked several questions, Mr. Stivender, and first of all, I just want to address the question that you asked about the reallocated funds. There was another document that we sent to the board, and I don't have the document with me, but it was a document that we actually went over in our last work session, and I think Ms. Crosby presented that document, and it had, I think I left it up. It had all of the proceeds from different years that had been approved for different projects. And remember, sometimes, when we do projects here, I think that's it. When we do projects, remember, it's only an estimate. These are estimated amounts. So sometimes the projects come in over the amount that we projected, and sometimes the projects come in under. And so what we did was we went line by line for each year, and we started with, I think it was 2000, we went all the way back to 2016. So we went to 2016, we looked at what was allocated there, did we use it, how much was left, and we did that for 2016, 2017, 19, 20, 21. We went through every year. The finance department did some good work to figure out where we had money left over. And what we did was we added all, yes, that's the document. That's the document. We added all of that money up. And at the time that we did our meeting, that total was a little over $1 million, which I have on this slide for you here, 1.3, 1 million. Yeah, a little over $1 million. You'll see that on that particular slide. So some of the projects, so in addition to that, we also call the principals to say, hey, this project was on the books from 2016. Is this something that your school truly needs now? And we got their feedback. And if it was something they did not truly need, then that was some of the money that we put in the reallocated funds. And then some of those projects, even if we did them now, would cost a whole lot more money now than they did back in 2016. So we utilize that, just thinking strategically about it as well. And we went through this. This was a lot of work. So I just want you to know that.
Well, no, I appreciate it. I don't mean to cut you off, but I was at that meeting, and just for clarification purposes, we did not have a total at that meeting. We asked for a total, and it was not presented to this board at that meeting after we asked for it. So when I say that I don't know where this money's coming from, that meeting was a meeting to justify paying for the air conditioning system for this district office. And that's where we were being proposed that money would come from. So without knowing a total at the time, up until tonight, I really don't have any idea where all this money was coming from.
Madam Chair, if I may just interject, that meeting, the work session that was just mentioned was on August the 26th.
Yes.
And then subsequent meetings were held, small group board meetings were held with additional information. Phone calls were made to every board member, Ms. Williams.
Yes.
And so this information was shared at various times in explicit form. Opportunities for questions were made up until through today. And so, I understand the questions and the concerns, and we'll make sure that everything gets answered. But at this time, I would like to make a motion that the capital projects as presented, that we approve the budget, knowing that that is a budget. And Ms. Williams, I'd like to make note that any RFPs that exceed the budgeted amount as presented, if that could be clearly communicated with the board, if the RFPs come in a larger amount, that could be considered prior to the contractual obligations of the district. But I do understand that this is a budget and that we will try to abide by the budget, but it's just numbers and estimates. I feel like the district has done a good job in presenting that information. So I make that motion at this time.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Of course, we can still entertain comments and questions as we're reviewing this before we take a vote. We also do appreciate and thank the board members for their questions, as well as the staff for the teamwork and the meetings that have been held. But we weren't given all of the totals, so he's making a comment that he's seeing the totals for the first time. And some information, the superintendent's aware, was given to us today. So if we need time to digest things, board members, there is a motion, there's a second. Thank you, Ms. Whitkin. Thank you, Mr. Murdoch. And we'll entertain further questions.
No questions, just comment. I can't support this budget at the time. Historically speaking, this district has had a tendency to blow budgets way out of proportion. It's a fact, and I'm not going to approve a budget that says that we may or may not spend another $500,000. We don't have any idea at this time.
Madam Chair, if I may add to the discussion, and that is to say again that this is a budget. Repeatedly, it has been shared that there was no clue and no mention. These are research numbers. I do trust that information as it is provided. We obviously understand we propose this work to be done, and we have to contract with individuals who have the ability to give us more definitive numbers. And so I do trust the district's ability to research that information and again provide us with information if the RFPs come back to us at larger amounts for us to make that consideration. I'd also like to make the note that this is a capital project budget. This is not our general fund budget that has already been passed. And so this is our need to really maintain our facilities as they need to be. And we've had continuous issues in transitions that have become more noticeable. And so we can't postpone the facility needs we have for our students and for our staff. And so this is really important. This is not a frivolous spending effort. This is important that we dedicate the time. We've given this a lot of time by district staff and by board review. And so I'm grateful to be able to approve this budget and also continue to stay informed as we move forward for the betterment of our district.
Thank you, Ms. Whitkin. And if I could, Chair Strobel, I just want to note that there are only 2 RFPs in here, one for the district-wide retention pond and then the other for the district-wide flooring. So it's just 2 RFPs. So those are just 2 unknowns right now. But as you've stated and asked that we will keep the board updated and informed when those quotes come in.
Yes. If I could add, I appreciate once again the teamwork, and I like that we've added some repairs instead of replacing. I appreciate the dedication, like Ms. Whitkin said, to that, and that some things after assessment that we're not going to need to replace the middle school boiler. That is wonderful, because that would have been a big ticket item. I'd also like to echo the details that you've added, but I would like to make note that when we look at things like maintaining our generators, I'm so happy that we do finally have a contract allotted here for maintaining our generators, but I'd also like for us to consider, and it might not be over the capital project where you have to ask for our permission, the amount, but our lift stations are also important, that they stay maintained, that we don't have any problems with our sewage at our 4 schools that have lift stations. We want to make sure that's always working properly, particularly the ones at Hendersonville that goes down the state right away to Hendersonville. We want to make sure we maintain that lift station that has those pressure lines, and the high school one, because those are, accommodations the city provides and the state highway department. So I would like to echo as a board member that historically remembers what we went through to go to Washington to get that permission, that we maintain those lift stations for whatever, we need to do. It might not be something you got to bring to the board, as well as the drinking water at Cottageville. We know that's the one school that has a well, so we have to have funds to make sure that stays accredited with DHEC. I'm so appreciative that we're going to get those retention ponds finally cleaned up. Thank y'all for putting that so that our schools can have those function for the overflow as well as the beautification of those campuses to be safe and secure. So thank you for looking into those things we mentioned, as well as security at our high school and TCTC and access. I would like to reference the one RFP you mentioned, Superintendent Williams, the district-wide flooring. I like that you specified we're going to get that gym floor at the middle school safe, because we've had parents' concerns and we've had concerns as board members when we've toured there. So thank you for specifying those projects that are safety. And when we look at that district-wide flooring, make sure we're being specific with those projects, not a blanket, because it's different types of flooring at different schools, and we want to give enough information to those contractors that they can come in with good prices and we get a good quality product. And I'm speaking from historical perspective, that we think clearly about those RFPs, not just being a blanket type information. Not that we are, but let's make sure they're specific enough. I do have concerns about the batting cage and restroom because those designs are high. Did we get those designs? Where did we get those prices?
So the design figures came from Mosley Architect. Before I was here, the district did go out and submit an RFP to bring on an architectural firm, and Mosley was selected. So they are the ones that we have reached out to review those projects. So those numbers came directly from the architect that was on record based off the RFP that we conducted and did. And selected them. So that's where it came from.
Thank you for reminding me. So when we get those design figures, we've got that. Will we see the cost when it comes to the actual the projects, and will we be able to afford the projects?
Yes. So the first step is approving the design. So once the board approves that and we can move forward, we will move forward with doing the design of it. And once the design is and comfortable and everybody's comfortable, then we can put the project out to bid. Then once we put the project out to bid, then we have the opportunity to review the numbers, see where we are financially, and either approve a contract or reject contracts based off the pricing and where we're at funding-wise.
Thank you. And when we look at that athletic field, I know that's something we need to do until we are able to afford turf, but let's make sure that they stick to the contract that was in place for timing, because timing is critical. I'm a hay farmer, and that fertilizer and the rain and the timing and when we're playing sports is critical. So let's make sure that the contractor abides by the timeline, because we're paying them, so they need to abide by the timeline. So thank you for noting that those things that we do with like district-wide radios, that's a lease. We have to do that each year if we're going to continue to have those services. So any other comments, questions? We have a motion, we have a second, and if there are no other comments or questions.
One more. I just want to make sure that the board realize that every time we delay something, it just puts us that much further behind. And if we doing something back ever since 2016, if we delay anymore, it'll be 2033 before we get anything done. So I say we need to move forward and keep the train moving.
Thank you, Mr. Murdoch. And let's not forget about Bells in Hendersonville. There were some canopies when we can afford them that we don't want our children in the rain, and we want to keep things secure over that kitchen area if we haven't done that at Bells. So I know there are other projects, but we have to go by priorities. Other comments? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second that we accept the capital project as presented to the board tonight. All those in favor, please show your right hand. All those opposed, let the motion and let the records reflect that there were 5 in favor and 1 opposed. Thank you, Superintendent Williams and your staff.
Thank you, Chair Strobel. Thank you, board members.
In our packet, there were some overnight field trips. Superintendent Williams, you want to give some corrected information?
Yes, I do. If you look at the very first trip number 4212, that trip was slated to have, it said 4 adults, and then it was 3 adults that was listed there. However, after speaking with the principal, there will be 5 adults at that particular, going on that trip. And that is the senior class graduation trip that will be going to Orlando, Florida. The trip sponsor is Ms. Brianne Buckner. Approximately 50 students will be attending, and then 5 adults. And then trip number 4223, that the date is March 19th through March 22nd. It's the South Carolina Forestry Camp. It's located in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The trip sponsors are Robin and Gary Lutton. 10 students will be attending and 2 adults. And then trip number 4239, dates are March 20th through the 21st. It's the South Carolina FFA Dairy Foods CDE, and it's located in Anderson, South Carolina. The trip sponsor is Robin Lutton, and there are 4 students and 2 adults attending.
So we can entertain a motion, and thank you for getting those in early. Those are spring trips. We appreciate those coming early to us, so everything's in order. We can entertain a motion for all those together if someone would like, or you can separate them.
Madam Chair, I move we accept the four overnight field trip requests.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Thank you for making sure there were adequate chaperones, especially for the overnight trip. Superintendent Williams, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Madam Chair, if I may, I noted in all three of the overnight field trips that the activity bus is being used for transport. Can you share with the board and public the restrictions of activity buses, the difference between an activity bus, a school bus, and any benefit that there might be or cost involved with any other transportation?
Yes, I know there was a question about the speed that an activity bus can drive on the interstate, and I was able to get this information from Mr. Bradley. He shared it with me, and this is guidance that came from the State Department of Education. It was sent on August 18th of 2025, and I'm just going to read what it says, but it says when you're operating the activity buses, the maximum speed is 45 miles per hour, unless the posted speed limit is above 55 miles per hour, in which case up to 55 miles per hour is permitted. So if they're on the interstate and the speed limit is 70, their maximum speed is 55. Wow. It also says written authorization has been granted by the State Department for travel to special events on the interstate or state primary highways, allowing speeds up to 55 miles per hour. Speeds above 55 miles per hour are strictly prohibited under all circumstances. And this is a State Department memo.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. And that does clarify, even though we own the activity buses, that those are district-owned buses, we still have to abide by those regulations. Is that correct?
That's exactly right.
Thank you. And, just as we make note of these approvals, obviously, a couple of them are out of state. If there's any change, because that might, if they have to change their transport, just let us know, or I just want to identify that, and if there's any changes in programming or necessary, just keep us updated.
Most definitely.
Thank you.
A quick question, the field trip the overnight trip to Orlando, is that to grad night at Disney? Or is it a different program this time?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It definitely is.
And also, if I may just add, I know that sounds slow or not as fast on a 70 mile per hour interstate, but it's obviously safety driven, and I support that effort. So
yes, and I don't know if Mr. Bradley wants to comment any more on that, because I know in the past it was the posted speed limit, but now that guidance has changed.
What it doesn't say in that memo from the state is that you don't have to govern your bus. The driver has to maintain the 55 mile an hour speed. For our bus, our state bus is 45 unless the speed limit is above 55, then you can drive 55. However, I have taken the stance that I have governed our activity buses to 55 miles per hour, period. Some districts I've called around, talked to other directors. I've talked to the state director in Columbia, and some have theirs governed at 60. We get some comments from folks that, well, I'm getting passed by other school buses or other district buses, but I can't worry about other districts and other school buses. I have to worry about Colleton County School District.
Amen.
And that is mine. Those are our children on those buses. Yes, an accident can happen at 60 miles an hour, 65, or 55. But however, when we have a memo such as that from the state, and our first priority in Colleton with transportation is the safety of our children, period.
Yes.
And that's where I put the governor on those buses at 55. Any new buses that I buy, as long as I'm here, they're going to be 55.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. Keep our children safe. Follow the rules. Okay, we had a motion and a second. I was about to get lost in a good discussion. Any other discussion? Thank you. That was a good time to segue that information in, Ms. Williams. And I'll now call for the vote for those educational field trips in the spring by a show of right hand. Unanimous. And we thank our teachers and chaperones because they take away from their time to give our students these opportunities. And it's not easy being a chaperone, right? Senior folks, you understand, right? So thank you, those that are able to, and Mr. Nix is one of those, take those kids on all those wonderful trips. But he had some rules he'll have to tell you about later. Okay, moving on, Ms. Williams, any other action you need from your report?
That is all the action that completes my report.
Thank you, Superintendent Williams.
Yes.
Oh, and before she sits down, can we all wish our superintendent a one-day past happy birthday?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ms. Williams. Yes, hope it was a good day.
Thank you, it was a very good day. Yes.
Thank you. She was at work, but board members, I brought her some fruit and flowers.
And I want to thank all of you who gave me the card and the flowers and the fruit. Thank you so very much, and the gift that I received tonight as well. So thank you for your kindness. I do appreciate it. I just thank God for 61 years.
Yes.
And I just pray for 61 more.
Amen.
Yes, thank you, Superintendent Williams.
You're welcome. I would like to, at this time, ask for Ms. Hamilton to come up with the Human Resources report.
Thank you. Look forward to any additions, and we're happy that everyone's keeping our children going in the right direction.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I do have one update for you guys. So on page 3 of the report, you will note that we have 13 contracted special services teachers. So I just want to make sure we understand that those are noted vacancies in our system. So we are actively advertising to fill those. So I'm excited to say that we got 4 qualified applicants today that I sent to principals with potential of interviewing them and potentially hiring them. So just wanted to give you that update. Okay. Any other questions?
And I know, Ms. Hamilton, not to put you on the spot, but there was a question that I omitted. There was a question from the board about some of the teachers that may not be here, international teachers, and how those classes are being covered. So can you just give like a general overview of how those classes are being covered?
So I know that I will say that they are closer to getting here than they were. The holdup is always at the embassy with the clearance and the visa interviews. But the principals have hired Kelly Services employees who are either retired and are able to continue with the curriculum, or just a regular Kelly sub who is able to continue with that curriculum. I do know for a classroom at the high school, they are using 2 certified teachers on a split schedule to make sure that the curriculum can continue in those classrooms. And so that is 2 at the elementary school. At the middle school, 2 at the elementary school I know is being covered by Kelly. The art class at the middle school is being covered by Kelly as well. And then we have, Dr. Durden, please correct me if I misspeak, but I believe we have a full mind teacher in one of our SPED classes until our special ed teacher gets here. And once she gets here, we will discontinue those services with full mind. Did that answer your question? Okay.
Any other questions, board members, about the HR report? Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Ms. Hamilton. I would now like to call Ms. Barrett for our finance report.
Good evening to the board and everyone.
evening.
I don't have any additional information on my report, but I would be glad to ask any question that you may have from the prior time.
Any questions, board members? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Our section number 9 is academics and student affair, because we all know our core purpose is teaching and learning. We were excited to hear what our students from Northside and the middle school were learning tonight about safety patrol and robotics. They were exceptional. And we look forward to Dr. Cordelia Jenkins' report, or Superintendent Williams, however you have that outlined for us to hear a good report tonight.
Yes. So tonight for our academics report, we've asked Mr. Kubik to come forward, and he's going to share some information about our CTE programs.
Good evening, Madam
Good
Chair,
evening.
board members, Ms. Williams. Out of respect to my my guest who has joined me tonight, I'm going to skip a little further down. It's kind of hard to keep a short list of stuff that's going on with TCTC, but I'm going to jump right down to our continued discussion on the career readiness that we were talking about earlier. As you may or may not be aware of, we have I have a new, semi-new position at TCTC. We have a work-based learning coordinator now. If you're familiar with Ms. Denise Wright-Johnson, who was our GCDF, I have basically given her some additional responsibilities within the building, which she's going to be helping me to coordinate any of our work-based learning efforts. In other words, getting our kids out into the community, getting them employed, getting them jobs during the school year. And this is one of the many ways that we earn those career readiness points for our students. A work-based learning curriculum of at least 40 hours on a job site will result in a student being considered career ready. So that is very important for us, and the more students that we get, in addition to the current programs that we have, where we do have students pushing out into the workplace, the more we have, the more our students are going to be prepared. One of the first tasks that we have taken upon ourselves this past Friday, Ms. Williams, myself, Ms. Denise, met with Dr. Christy Massey and Ms. Bellevue, who has joined us from the Chamber of Commerce. We met with them to discuss a continuing partnership where we are able to make better connections with our business partners here locally. Of course, we've got large businesses pushing in from outside of the county, but it's really good to have some growing connections within the community where we can have some better relationships. And one of the first ways that we're going to try to achieve this is TCTC is going to be hosting the Business After Hours next month. I don't know if you want to say anything about it. You just want me to address it? Okay.
Give us the date. Give us the
October
date.
29th.
Thank you. And remind us at our October meetings, Superintendent Williams.
October 29th from 6 to 7:30, you are all invited to attend. Of course, TCTC is going to be hosting it. I've asked my staff to be prepared to speak with the local businesses as they push in, as well as have a few students on hand from each program to share with those business persons about what they're learning and some of the skills that they're obtaining in their classrooms. I think this will be very beneficial. And Chair Strobel, as you're aware, that one of our requirements is having a program advisory, which since pandemic has been very dismal, getting a turnout of businesses, parents, students to come out after hours. And this is one of our ways that we're going to try to bridge that gap, where we have better relationship with those who ultimately we're going to be sending students to them as employees in the future. So we want them to see what they're going to be getting their hands on when these students graduate.
Thank you for making the connection with the Chamber, and welcome. We look forward to being there for the Business After Hours, and those of us that can connect with some of your advisory committees, let us know. Some school districts have their own board for their career center, like Dorchester. So we are definitely a part of TCTC as a district, and we appreciate that.
And we're not the only ones throughout the state that are struggling. I mean, I've asked other directors as well, and everyone that I've talked to says that sometimes turnout is just not where they want it to be.
Yes, and we want to thank Superintendent Williams. She served as a board member on the chamber for a while now, and I understand their meetings conflict with ours, so she's asked Mr. Kubik to be a part of the chamber board. So thank you for sitting in for Superintendent Williams.
And I want to, while we're talking, I want to officially introduce our new chamber president. She's been a president now for, I think, a year. It's been about a year. Dr. Krista Massey. If you would please stand, and also with her is her administrative assistant, Miss Jocelyn Bellevue. And if you all would just welcome them. So do you want to come up and say anything, Dr. Massey? Please feel free to.
Yes, we look forward to those business opportunities for our students. So thank you for being willing to help us.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. We had a great meeting on Friday, and I look forward to the work that we're going to be doing with TC and also with how we can bridge the gap with the school district, and hope to make some good improvements, not only for, for the community, but also for the students and the growing nature of Colleton County.
Yes. Yes, and we want to thank you, Superintendent Williams, for having our students that first Thursday, if we haven't done that officially. So thank you. I know y'all are part of making that work for the chamber. So let us know how we can help. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, continuing on that same note, we've already looked at career readiness is one of our areas. Of course, TCTC being a career center. We've already discussed when test scores are one of the ways that we determine whether the student is career ready. There is also the work-based learning, which if a student gets to 40 hours, they are considered career ready if it matches up with their IGP. But there are also other ways. We've discussed ASVAB, which is the test that's provided to our military students, scoring a certain score. There's also students who are a completer. Now, being a completer is great, but the state requires that we also have, in addition to that completion, they have to have a national certification that goes with it. So the more students that we have with a certification, the better it's going to look as far as report cards, because a completer by itself is just not going to cut it. Now, just for your information, the state has changed the rules starting this year with our sophomore class. Students have to have 3 points worth of certification when they graduate. So they can't have just one certificate anymore. They have to have a total of 3. So where we were getting by with, let's say, an OSHA certification, which the state now says is only valued at 1 point, they have to have an additional 2 points worth of certifications, which is going to be a tremendous task, adding that to every one of our completer programs. It's possible we can do it. We've already been planning it. We're looking at what certifications are potentially available and what we can, or what the state has approved, and what we can put into the curriculum over their 2 to 3 year period of time that they're in a CTE program. But just wanted you to be aware that that is also one of the ways that we determine if a student is career ready, is they have to be a completer, they have to have a certification, but now it's more than just one certification. So just to give you, just to be real quick, because I've used a lot of time so far, just some program information as far as CTE, and I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but now NJROTC is officially a CTE program. The state has finally made the ROTC programs in the state of South Carolina, which technically, if you look at it, military is a career, potentially a career, and now they're considering that part of our curriculum. So we can now consider CTE completers to be from the NJROTC programs. So that's going to increase the amount of completers we have, and of course another area that I've got to look at for potential certifications. But that will probably add good 15 to 20 students a year to the amount of students we've had. And I don't know if it's going to be that easy to top 175 completers from last year. So that's going to be a task. Law enforcement services, we have hired a candidate. But we are in the, we're in a holding phase now with the state of South Carolina, waiting for them to approve the individual's background experience so they can receive their initial certification to move forward. That usually takes a significant amount of time to approve, anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. But that's where we stand with that. That individual is currently employed and is just awaiting our notification that he can enter the classroom. Emergency and fire management services. Once again, that's in the planning phases. We've got to work out an agreement with a Fire Station 19 across the road from us, which will provide us with the facilities. They have to be a partner with us. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but it's just after going through barbering and nail tech with the LLR, I know how much of a task that is, and I want to make sure we have all of our T's crossed and I's dotted when it comes to the paperwork and getting, so that way it flows smoothly and we have no issues or hiccups with that program. Barbering and nail tech is in its second cohort phase. Barbering is, these students will be halfway through their program at the end of the semester. My nail tech students will have one more semester. Next semester, we will have our first completers. So that's a shorter program, but we should be producing our first completers out of that in the spring. And they'll be our first licensed students. Automotive technology. As you're aware, we've received a $100,000 grant for that introduction of EV and hybrid technology, and we have officially received that money, and we've officially started spending it. Unfortunately, with the state of South Carolina, it's a hurry up and wait, because they've given us the money, but everything that we need to buy has to be manufactured. The EV practice vehicle that we're supposed to get is a 6-month out order on that. So we've got the money, we can place the order for it, but we've got to wait 6 months for them to get everybody's vehicles ready for them. So we're ordering all the secondary elements, such as the curriculum, access, the tools and so forth. We're going to be go ahead and placing those orders. They've already started actually on the curriculum, but that's where we stand with that. And in the same note there, when we're talking about the EV hybrid program, we are also in communication with TCL, which is moved next door to us. They are interested in doing some dual enrollment with that particular program. We are also looking at additional programs within our facility that they have talked to us in the past about, potentially with our early childhood education, which would be very beneficial because we could fast track these students to be teachers. I don't know if any of you have been into Blackstreet Early Childhood Center. Whenever we have our students over there working, we've got some kids that are ready to become teachers. These kids are really enjoying it, and that's part of our work-based learning, by the way. But we've got some students that are really anxious to become teachers, and these will be some of the first ones we look at for potentially utilizing a partnership with TCL. And we're going to take a look at every program we've got to see what they can do for us and what we can do for them.
Thank you. It's great to hear all the good news, the business after hours. We look forward to that, and we want to make sure any highlights you want to give the county council and go represent our schools at their meetings so they know what's happening in the world of our TCTC career students. Particularly happy to know the TCL connections happening since the county has given them space right next door. So thank you for fostering that partnership as well. Board members?
Yes. How many students we have in the law enforcement class?
The last numbers we looked at, this was right after school had let out. We had at least 10 students I know of that were interested in the program. But that was only one class. Those were 10th graders that were serving at the time. There should be additional students because it's going to be a very short program. There's only going to be a total of 3 classes to be completed in that. But right now, like I said, just to survey one grade level, 10th grade, which is the grade that we would start with that program, we had 10 at the time. And that was a quick survey.
And what time is the business after hours starting?
It supposed to be from 6 to 7:30.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Thank you, Ms. Williams, for bringing us that from the curriculum report. We appreciate hearing how things are happening on the upper end of our spectrum. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Bodison, for being here to support those babies of yours that travel over to TCTC. Moving on, Ms. Williams, anything else from the curriculum report?
That concludes the academics report.
Thank you. Item number 10, our operational management. I want to compliment these wonderful floors. Mr. Capers has waxed the beautiful floors up here tonight on the stage, and they look wonderful. Dr. Wright and Superintendent Williams, we know that a safe, secure, and positive learning environment will be conducive for teaching and learning.
Good evening again, Chairman Shorter, Vice Chair, members of the board. The operational management has no
Dr. Wright, let's make sure he's got a strong battery. It's a little weak on that side now. Thank you. I think Mr. Cubic took all of the batteries.
Hello. Madam Chair, members of the board, from the Division of Operational Management, we have no further new updates for the board tonight. Due to the graciousness of our superintendent, we were able to present to you the updated additional capital improvement project that she presented tonight, which was part 2 to any information from the Division of Operations. At this time, Madam Chair, I will be happy to entertain any questions that the board may have regarding that capital improvement or anything coming from the Division of Operational Management presentation that was given to you on last week. I'll be happy to entertain.
Board members, any questions?
Madam Chair, I hate to ask this, but it was asked about this weekend. Superintendent Williams, with regards to high school league permission to allow for training in the fall for spring sports, or spring baseball, softball fields ready for that upcoming training that is available to our student athletes?
So I'm going to defer that question to Dr. Wright.
And I will ask our Executive Director for Athletic Operations to help us give a response to that. Thank you, Sharon, Ms. Rickens.
Thank you. And as he's coming forward, I know we hosted a nice homecoming, and we want to make sure everything on those practice fields is in order because, we use their space for that tailgate.
The Office of Building and Grounds and the Office of the Athletic Department work hand in hand to make sure that all practice fields are ready and in quality shape and in outstanding condition whenever we start practices.
So we'll see some activity on those fields soon.
Yes, as soon as Dr. Myers has his schedule, we'll make sure that everything's ready.
Thank you.
Any other questions for our operations? That's building and ground. We saw our bus drivers tonight. Thank you. We appreciate having them come tonight. It was wonderful. Thank you. Any other comments from
We want to thank the
our
board
building and ground?
for being able to bring them before you and to recognize them tonight. That was a beautiful thing.
Yes. And hats off that our technology was in place when school started because we saw some districts that had trouble with getting that. So
Yes, ma'am.
thank you for pushing that technology this summer. So our students and teachers had everything they needed when school started.
Dr. Wright, I had a few people reach out this week in concerns to the safety of the tailgate that we had at our football game. Just a few safety concerns. Did we, as a district, did we have extra staff for security measures at that? And also, did we reach out to the Sheriff's Department for extra personnel to cover for that event?
Thank you, Mrs. Stavager. I guess I would like to first to say in response to that the planning for the tailgating activity was strictly a planning left at the high school level and the high school administration. The district involvement in that came as a result of some questioning to provide support to Ms. Bodison. She was very graceful in providing that support. In terms of collaboration with the Sheriff Office, that collaboration was done as a result of our athletic director and myself getting involved in it and coordinating a meeting after the fact with the high school team to kind of figure out what their plan was. Let's look at security issues, security measures, and we had a collaborative conversation a couple of days right before the actual activity took place. So yes, but it took place not as a pre-planning event, but as a post-planning event as a result of questioning from our office.
Okay, just let's make sure if we're going to have this event next year that we reach out in advance to have extra security. I had some complaints about the smell of marijuana and the alcohol being consumed during this event, and I don't like that at all in our district. I think it's a poor representation of our school district for people to come from out of town and smell marijuana the whole time the football game's going on.
We totally agree. We totally agree.
Thank you, that we can plan to for the travel in and out. I know that's not an easy task, but maybe if we consult, with those that can help us with the roadway.
Yes, ma'am.
Like they do for fairs and big football games, they can come and help us for our events. And I thought it worked good to have the guard shack at the early part, picking up the tickets, but then once it, bottleneck. So we can look at that and troubleshoot, but overall, minor concerns and more compliments for everyone.
And just to add further context, we did have collaboration with the Sheriff's Department, but again, that was after the fact that the Operations Department started questioning to figure out what was going on. And we have such a great relationship with our resource officers between the Operations Department and what we have here, such as Deputy Cummins. And so when the things are going on, we talk frequently, we find out, and then even after the fact things happen, we tend to have after action meetings and to figure out next year what we're going to do differently.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, may I
yes.
Comments? I want to thank Dr. Wright, Dr. Myers and his staff for understanding that y'all had an awesome gate revenue. And y'all did real well. Understand that y'all had more people this year in the last 3 years they ever had. And I heard everything went well, so I want to thank y'all for that.
Thank you, sir, Board Member Cunningham. We, this year, according to our Executive Director of Athletic Operations, we posted the strongest revenue that we've had in years as a result of this tailgating and our homecoming game situation. So hats off to the team. And while there are mixed reviews about it, I think overall there still was a good time had, with a few exceptions of people situations that may have not represented the district well.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anything else from his division? Thank you. We look forward to those snacks that are going to come our way. Moving along, board members, we don't have anyone that asked to attend electronically, but our attorney will be joining us via live stream in the back. And we have now opportunity to enter into executive session to receive discussion of employment or hiring, separation, resignation if needed, as well as student release and admittance if needed, and receipt of legal advice updates. Those are the three topics that will be discussed. I'll entertain a motion now for executive session to begin.
Madam Chair, we move into executive session to discuss item numbers 12.01, 12.02, and 12.03.
A second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Topics and opportunity to move into executive session. Hearing none, all those in favor, please show your right hand. Motion carries. We will be in executive session. Upon returning, if we need to take any action, we will. We appreciate your attendance always. Thank you. That we enter back into our regular session.
Madam Chair, I make a motion we enter back in the open session.
Second, Madam Chair.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion about moving back into our open session? Hearing none, all those in favor, please show your right hand. Thank you. It's unanimous. Board members, please make note that this coming Monday, we will have our policy committee meeting. If you're able to attend, thank you, policy committee members, for being there at 5 in the boardroom. And also make note that our regional meeting, those that can attend, is next Wednesday, 5 to 7. And mark your calendar for the future events later in the month. If you can be there with our Colleton delegation to hear Superintendent Williams make an amazing presentation to them, will be on Monday, September the 29th. So mark your calendar for those events, and we thank you for those that are going to represent us at the delegation meeting in December. Any action that needs to come before the board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we be adjourned.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please show your right hand. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Let me vote.
We're adjourned.